There are some individuals that cannot tolerate milk and other dairy products. Apart from milk, other dairy products include custard, whey protein, ice cream, yogurt, cheese, etc. There is something common in this product, and that is lactose. Lactose is actually a disaccharide. It contains 2 units of simple sugars. It is held by a glycosidic bond, in fact, by beta 1,4 glycosidic bond. This disaccharide has glucose and galactose. It must be splitted. The bond has to be broken before the body can absorb the disaccharide, that's the lactose. Now, the bond cleavage is accelerated, is encouraged by the enzyme lactase. So, individuals that do not have lactase or the activity of the lactase is much reduced, they experience difficulty consuming milk.
And this is what we call lactose intolerance.
They may have symptoms like flatulence, diarrhea, bloating, etc. But this should not be confused with milk allergy, because milk allergy is actually an immune mediated responses caused by antibody. The body sees milk as an allergen and then mounts antibody to fight. It happens even after birth. It can be life threatening. While lactose intolerance can occur, is a digestive disorder that is caused by deficiency of lactase. It can occur at adulthood or early adulthood or in adolescence. My name is Thomas Okon, so pay attention. Let's go deeper. Signs and symptoms of lactose intolerance include diarrhea, bloating, flatulence, nausea, etc. This is caused by the inability of the body to digest the lactose. This takes us to the pathophysiology of lactose intolerance. Since lactose is a disaccharide, it has two units of simple sugars, the glucose and galactose. Now, the body cannot absorb these bigger molecules. Since lactose is a disaccharide, it cannot be absorbed by the microvilli of the small intestine. It remains unabsorbed in the bowel. So it moves to the bowel's lumen and attracts water to itself. This is what causes the osmotic diarrhea. Now, the unabsorbed lactose now move to the colon, where it is being acted upon by the bacteria in the colon. So the colonic bacteria convert the lactose to lactic acid and to gas and sometimes alcohol. The various gases produced are methane, hydrogen, and carbon dioxide. The lactic acid produced will now reduce the pH of the stool, and this is what is used as a marker during the stool analysis to ascertain whether one has lactose intolerance or not. We shall discuss it when we talk about the several tests that should be carried out to know if one has lactose intolerance or not. Causes of lactose intolerance. One is primary causes. Here, at birth, the activity of these enzymes is at peak, but it declines with age. So it can come from a very high concentration to almost nothing as one gets older. So at this stage, nothing can really be done about this except by taking supplementation of these enzymes. We have several supplements there that can be taken to replace the declined or the removed enzyme. We also have secondary causes. These are due to underlying causes like celiac disease, gastroenteritis, Crohn's disease, chemotherapy, and the use of antibiotics. Now, this can be corrected by treating the underlying causes. The gastroenteritis should be treated, celiac disease treated, so that one can have the activity of lactase restored. Like in the case of antibiotics, too much usage of antibiotics can destroy these enzymes. Of course, the enzymes are protein. The antibiotics can destroy them. Antibiotics are not that specific. It can target other cells apart from the ones sent to attack. We also have congenital causes. This is the one where an individual is born with it, with deficiency of the enzyme lactase. This is where an individual is born with a deficiency. Even from day one, this person doesn't have the enzyme lactase. It's congenital from birth. Lastly, we have developmental lactase deficiency. This happens in preterm babies. In fact, to be specific, babies born between 28 to 37 weeks of gestation. This happens where some vital organs are not properly developed, are underdeveloped. Example is the intestine. Lactase is actually found in the brush border of the intestine. So where the intestine are not properly developed, such child will have lactase deficiency. It is very common in people with Asian descent, like people from Asia and Africa. Some part of Europe actually can tolerate milk. Several tests can be carried out to know if one has lactose intolerance or not. One is stool acidity test. Like I said, this is where the pH of the stool is measured to know whether one has lactose, whether one is able to digest lactose. Like I said, when one has lactose intolerance, the disaccharide, the lactose, is not broken down and it is acted upon by bacteria in the colon and large intestine. Now it is being converted to lactic acid. It is the lactic acid that will increase the pH of the stool. Then alcohol can be formed. Gases like methane, hydrogen, and carbon dioxide can also be formed. So the pH of the stool is examined after the individual had taken lactose. Though this test is not very specific, we also have other tests like hydrogen breath, where the breath of individual is ascertained to know the amount of hydrogen in the breath. Then the most specific one is lactose tolerance test. Lactose tolerance test is very specific. Here, the fasting blood sugar of individual is taken and then recorded. Then lactose, about 50 grams of lactose is given. Then at 0 hour, at 0 minutes, the sugar level is examined in the blood using the blood 0, 60 minutes, and 120. So once an individual that has lactose intolerance takes lactose, the sugar level is monitored at 0 minutes at that same time, 60 minutes later, and 120 later. So if this individual is not able to digest lactose, the sugar level at 0, 1, 60, and 120 will not change. Finally, want to consider the treatment options, and this is where I have so much interest. Treatment option. First, for the secondary causes of lactose intolerance, the underlying causes should be treated. Like I mentioned, gastroenteritis, celiac disease, Crohn's disease, and then in the individual should reduce the limit that one take antibiotics, as antibiotics are not that specific. It can attack other cells other than the ones sent to attack. Now, for primary causes where the activity of these enzyme lactase decline with age, supplements should be given. Lactase supplements. So then comes as tablet and as drops. It is available in the pharmacy. Come and get one. You may have tolerated milk as a child, but as an adult, you cannot tolerate milk again. You are just fine. Nothing is wrong with you. It's only that the activity of the enzyme has declined with age. And perhaps you may have taken so much antibiotics, some milk in the market now that are lactose free. So you can go there, pick the one, may ensure that you read the content of everything you buy to know that you're not allergic. There's some person that cannot take, for example, that cannot take methyl cellulose. They are allergic to it. So whatever you pick, read the content. They are written boldly to ensure that you do not react adversely to what you use the money to buy. Now, for the antibiotics, try before you take antibiotics, go for test. Ensure that you are taking antibiotics when it is necessary. Don't just take antibiotics like that. Lactase is an enzyme. All enzymes are proteinous in nature. Antibiotics can destroy them. So ensure that you take antibiotics when it is necessary and the duration should not be too long. Once it is too long, it becomes a problem. Then as I take this video to an end, if you have issues consuming milk, try and know which of the four causes, like I mentioned, primary, secondary, congenital, and developmental deficiency, which of them you belong to, and then you can seek help, you can be treated. If it is primary causes, don't kill yourself, it's just normal because the activity declines with age. If it is secondary, then know that the underlying causes should be treated. You'll be fine. As for the congenital causes, it means that you were born with it, and several research are still ongoing. And I hopeful one day the solution shall be out. Then, to take this video to a close, do not confuse lactose intolerance with milk allergy. Some persons, even from day one, cannot tolerate some proteins, example cow milk and the rest. So once that happens, it's an emergency condition. It can cause death. So tackle it immediately and ensure that you live healthy. For more of this, subscribe to this YouTube channel if you are watching me from YouTube, or follow my page if you are watching me from other social media like Facebook, TikTok, and the rest. Live healthy and eat healthy. Share this content for everyone to see and encourage them to eat healthy. See you next time. Bye bye.